It almost looks like the lettering went downhill. Hello everybody and welcome to Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Welcome to the Towne Mall. For those not familiar with the area, we're about an hour's drive south of Louisville, and we're just a handful of miles from Fort Knox and the town of Radcliffe. Radcliffe is the town where I did that infamous video from inside of that really bad Ames with the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of items and cars inside. And when we did this video, we made a stop in Radcliffe. And to give you guys an idea, if you are planning on stopping at that Ames, don't bother. Since our video, that place has been sealed up tight with guardrails going around all the windows and openings, and the parking lot is filled completely with Ford vehicles. Either they're waiting on chips, or they are overstock from local dealerships. Anyway, here we are at the quaint little Towne Mall. We visited this mall back in late April 2022 when we did our visit to the new Buc-ee's that had just opened at that time in Richmond, and we were not disappointed upon our visit here. While this mall has a few vacancies in it, I wouldn't necessarily call it dead again, and it is aesthetically pleasing. It's a mall that really hasn't left the 80s, as I could tell. The mall opened on October 16th, 1985 by David Hawker and Associates. Its assumed size is about 350,000 square feet. And while info on this mall isn't great, what I have been able to research and find, and actually from speaking to a couple of people at the mall, is that original anchors here were Doll Hairs, JCPenney, and Ben Snyder's. For years, it was one of the premier shopping destinations, aiding in growth in the area, as well as competing with what could have and would have and should have been a mall in Radcliffe. Now, the mall in Radcliffe was really no such thing, as it was just a lone Sears that would end up closing. Sears was not an original anchor at this mall, but rather it opened up in 1990, was renovated in 1999, only to close in 2018 as part of Sears' bankruptcy, which has been going on for way too long. Ben Snyder's would eventually close, becoming the short-lived Hess's, and then becoming Profits, only to become Belk, which it still remains to this day, even though Belk itself has been struggling. And I can tell you from being in a handful of their stores, some stores have better stock than others, whereas a lot of them seem to be low on inventory. Doll Hairs closed in 2008 and became Burke's Outlet in 2010. You'll actually see Burke's Outlet here very shortly as we approach the center court, which is also, I guess, considered the food court, although the food court itself doesn't really have many tenants. But the food court, or center court as I would call it, is very beautiful and very aesthetic. Besides a stage, there are plenty of plants. You'll see the palm tree coming up in view here as well as the American flag. And there is a beautiful, beautiful aqua teal colored fountain in there. Very aesthetic. I love that a lot, and I spent quite a lot of time hanging out around the fountain area. It's actually just hidden behind the stage right here in front of you. From the time of its opening until the early 2000s, the mall was booming. There was a full food court, plenty of stores. It was only within the last 10 years that the mall began to go downhill, and unfortunately COVID didn't help any matters. As we begin making our way towards the Belk side of the mall and the play area for kids, I'll show you the fountain more towards the end of the video. You'll love it. I wanted to save that best for last anyway. Anyway, as we make our way down that way, Sears, which you'll see at one point is boarded up, that was the wing where a store by the name of Hard Knocks Games was. They left during COVID due to extremely high rent, and fortunately for them relocated just on the edge of town where they are doing quite well today. Within the last 3 years, businesses accelerated in leaving the mall, such as FYE, Hard Knocks Games, as I had mentioned, Annie Ann's. You know how hard it is to lose Annie Ann's? I've seen plenty of dead malls with Annie Ann's still around. But they left, as did GameStop, a candy shop, as well as a cookie shop, and others. I figured I'd give you a little sneak peek of the fountain after all. Anyway, that's not to say that this mall is struggling. It's really not. Like I said, I really don't even want to call it a dead mall. Even though when we were here, it was early Sunday. It was right about opening, so that's why there aren't too many people there. You gotta figure people were just getting out of church or going to lunch. But still, it wasn't a bad day to go to the mall. Actually, it was probably a better day because it was gloomy and kind of rainy. But for a late April Sunday, I'm assuming most people just wanted to stay home. But that made for it to be easier for me to film this place. To my understanding, from what I heard from a couple of employees of stores at the mall, from what it is said, the mall's owner isn't necessarily the easiest or nicest person to deal with, and has been known to not make the best decisions over what's in the best interest for the stores in the mall. But again, let me say it again, this mall was very nice. I like the old feel to it. Yes, it's dated. Yes, it smells musty in areas, but that's what draws me to a mall like this. I love it. Everybody here was very nice. I really enjoyed my time, and Kayla and I were able to make a few purchases before leaving, and we would definitely go back. And for a mall that's trying to hang on, if you're ever in town, definitely check it out, support some of the businesses. I imagine during the holiday season they'll be getting some pop-up businesses in there. Just seasonally, but still, definitely check it out. It's a great little place with a lot of character, and I really like this place a lot. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed going to this mall, as I'd mentioned, and if you ever get the chance to, I hope you'll enjoy it as well. If not, I hope this video does that for you. But on that note, I'm going to take off. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay awesome, and on Kayla's behalf, have a Towne Mall-licious day. Thank you all very much for getting us to 50,000 subscribers. And, well, here's to another 50,000. I can only hope. If I don't get to it, that's okay. I'm grateful for having you guys here and watching this video and supporting us. Anyway, take care, everybody, again. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.